Susie Gilbert coming in, talk to people in Australia
Brilliant.
when we're ready, because at that end, it's afternoon. It's now 5 p.m.,
Yep.
5:17 p.m. in Canberra. And
Yes.
where I am told by a lot of supporters who have been pinging me that there's going to be a hero's welcome to Julian, and
Yes.
it's heartwarming to know that. The support in Australia has been absolutely phenomenal to Julian, and the tide has turned in such a way that it's bipartisan support, a total support in politics. 80-90% of the population in Australia has been calling and demanding that he is brought home.
Yeah.
And that's amazing.
The support, I think, around the world, and obviously as the campaign lead, seeing and interacting with the various global campaign groups has been, I mean, it's truly been a humbling experience. I met with a group of supporters last night, very, very committed supporters from around the world, and extended our heartfelt gratitude and thanks to those supporters. They have remained committed and resolute in the face of every knock that the campaign, that WikiLeaks and Julian has suffered. And, you know, they obviously, things have happened in Julian's case at every level, as we know, from the very top all the way down to the grassroots. But without that mobilization of grassroots support, without the people standing for Julian, I think it would have been far easier for the American government to continue their political persecution. And so, you know, as I said to the smaller group, and as I now say here with you, Kristen, you know, I'm deeply humbled and filled with gratitude, as I'm sure Julian will be, to the support that we have had around the world for the last 14 years. It's been an incredible thing. And, you know, really, I said to the supporters last night, they were like, you know, what do we do now? And I was like, well, look, guys, there are plenty of other journalists still in prison around the world. And what you guys have managed to do for Julian, you know, I'm sure we've got other focuses for the supporters, and but they've been incredible. And you know, it's been a wonderful thing to see that level of support and organization from the grassroots up. You know.
Yeah, and it's global, all around the world.
Yeah.
People holding vigils, coming together, demanding Julian's freedom, and it's heartwarming. And I must say, from my perspective, I am absolutely certain that without that push, because everything matters, without that push by the general public and the dedicated supporters who came out on the street, who camped out, you know, outside the embassy, who came to the court early in the morning, demanding Julia's freedom, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
The support has been phenomenal and growing. And of course, the Australian authorities have been pushing, especially behind the scene, the Albanese government in Australia, Kevin Rudd, ambassador in Washington, D.C. But let's not forget those the world leaders who came on board and have been on board for quite a long time and calling for the release of Julian. Some of them I've met personally, like the Brazilian president Lula, who actually understands from his own experience how it is. He was incarcerated in a bogus case against him that was dismissed in the end, and the resurrection into politics to become a president again in Brazil is phenomenal in politics. Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, Mexican president, he's been very supportive throughout. He talked to Biden personally, one-on-one. He sent letters and said, you know, let the man go. This is a threat to press freedom worldwide. And that has been acknowledged by so many organizations who understood the existential threat of this case to press freedom.